Good morning, everyone, and welcome to River City Plus. It is the show after the show, the River City After Party, and today we are talking about how you can take steps towards raising awareness for mental wellness and creating a better sense of community right here in the 904. Today, I have Susan Ann Vance from NAMI. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Yes, thanks for having us.
So I'm obviously thrilled to have you because we got connected with your organization through one of our very own interns, Frank. So we're so excited to have you here and get to learn how you guys are connected with this organization.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm the executive director of NAMI Jacksonville, and this is Vance Meyer. He is the board president.
Hi, how are you?
Hello, Vance.
Yep, we are the National Alliance of Mental Illness, but we are an affiliate called NAMI Jacksonville. There are 24 affiliates in the state of Florida, but we are here serving Northeast Florida. We are a peer-led organization that supports individuals who live with mental health conditions and family members who are caring for individuals with mental health conditions.
And I think it's so unique that you're pairing, obviously, this creation of awareness and these treatments and things like that with being outdoors, being with a community that's there, that's supporting you, because it does take strength to show up in numbers and say, we know somebody who is affected by this, or we ourselves are affected by this, and creating that sense of community through a 5K walk. So Vance, what attracted you to this organization?
Well, what attracted me was we have in this city 1 in 5 adults lives with mental illness. So that means in Jacksonville, around 200,000 people live with mental illness. If you go to a sold-out Jaguars game, you're talking about 14,000 people in a sold-out Jaguars game. I would be one of those people. I was living with severe depression about a dozen years ago and was hospitalized. And I want to spend the rest of my life trying to help people see that there's hope here. You don't have to live exactly the way that you think you have to live with mental illness. And the great thing about the walk, as you say, is that part of our model is built on people being out there together or being in support groups together. And we're going to be out there in the river. We just went through a really terrible weather period in our part of the country.
Right.
We're going to have a beautiful day out there. It's going to be fantastic. A couple hours before the air show. So folks can come out and bring the kids, and it's fun, it's uplifting, and we're just really looking forward to it.
And I have to say, Vance, I appreciate you being so willing to directly share your story because, you know, Susan, I think we can agree, science shows us that by and large, so many men have undiagnosed mental health conditions that they are just in numbers less willing to go and get help because, you know, we as a society have said, like, you know, go into the woods, wrestle a bear, man up, suck it up. And they often don't take advantage of resources and help. And like you said, hope that is out there. So can I ask you, what was the change where you felt comfortable or you felt led to go and find help?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would start by saying that when it comes to mental illness, both for men and women, it's not necessarily something that you have a choice to kind of come out of the closet about. And that's really important, a message for us from NAMI, because we have support groups with people in them who aren't really wrestling with coming out of the closet. It's pretty obvious for them. They've got really, really serious issues going on. And we are there for them as well. The pandemic just made a lot of people like me kind of aware of, oh my gosh, I'm feeling depressed here, and so that's helpful for stigma, right? But in my case, I lived with anxiety and depression that was workplace driven. And you're right, there are a lot of folks in the workplace that are struggling really mightily with that. And it got to a point for me where I had physical symptoms, right? I couldn't hear, I had a team. I couldn't hear my team talking to me. The words would just go right through my head. And it was just, it was just one of those situations where I just finally came to the conclusion, hey man, you just got to come. You just got to come out with this and go get the help you need. Yeah.
And I'm so proud of you that you did that. And now you're sharing that with others because you just like radiate. Both of you are just like, you know, these radiating people of hope and light. So I think sometimes when we see that, we don't think anyone is struggling. So Susan, when you bring people out into a group like this, why do you think that is so important to see those other community members and see their faces and walk with them and walk alongside them.
You hear the phrase, "you are not alone," but that's really what NAMI stands for, is that we use the power of our voices, that we used our lived experience, which is shared experiences in many cases, to support one another and say, I've walked in your shoes. I know what it feels like. I know what it means. And we're here to support you. And so it's so important. And that's what NAMI does, is that we wrap our arms around each other, whether it's individuals like Vance or if it's family members who are desperately trying to find help for their loved one. We wrap our arms around family members and we help them navigate the system. We help them find that hope and recovery for their loved ones. I have a family member who lives with severe mental illness, and we as a family weren't sure how to provide help. And we tried everything and we asked everywhere. And it wasn't until I found NAMI that I was really able to find the support of other family members to give me information, to help me navigate the system, to help me figure out how I could help my loved one. And we were able to do that. We were very successful, and I'm happy to say that my loved one is living in recovery, living a valuable life. And so I want to share that with other families in our community to help them figure out how to get help for their loved ones so that they can realize the same future.
And it's such a challenging place to be. If you see someone that you love and care so much about, whether it's in the workplace, whether it's in the home, you see someone struggling and you want to help them, but you just don't know how. That's such a heartbreaking position for that other person. What do you think is something that changed for you when you found out, like, this is how I can actually be an active participant in helping this person? Let us help them, or let us lead them to help, because it's very much the old adage, you can lead a horse to water. Like, if you're just trying to throw help, and sometimes if someone's not ready to accept it, you really can't do anything. So how do you navigate crossing that barrier?
Yeah, and for me, it was very clear after I had gone through NAMI's programs. As a family, we were caring and supportive, and we were trying to do everything that we could for our loved one. But what NAMI taught us was compassion and understanding of a mental illness on a level that you wouldn't otherwise understand. We thought we were being empathetic and compassionate, but you still fall into the same role of trying to tell somebody, like Vance says, you can't have them just tell them to come out and face their mental health conditions. It's really, truly understanding what they're going through so that you can build a relationship of trust and compassion that changes everything, and people can begin to rely on you as an understanding and supportive person.
Yeah.
Yeah, you bring up a really good point, and not only did Suzanne come to us in that way and became our leader from that experience, which is incredible, right? And we have a lot of volunteers and staff members who have done the same thing. But I also want to point out that NAMI is not just here. We're all free, by the way. We charge nothing for anything. And we are also here for family members. Is a very big part of our support. So family members can come to us, and they do in large numbers. They can call us on our helpline, and they can say, hey, I'm at a loss here, what do I do? And we can get them to the resources. We can connect them to the resources they need, or get them in a support group where they find, very often in a group of other family members, hey, we're doing a lot of right things here, right? And we're all sharing with each other, and that's a really beautiful thing. And hope is not just like this pie in the sky thing. It's something you work on and you get better at over time.
So again, it's going to be a fantastic weekend. Can we talk about just the logistics before we go, about what people can expect, where they can register, how they can show up, and how they can be there for the community?
Yeah, absolutely. So this Saturday, October 19th, is NAMIWalks Jacksonville. It's our 5th year. It's at the Winston Family YMCA. It's an incredible day of hope and celebration for all of us with lived experience and people who are supporting loved ones. It's a 5K walk. It's our biggest fundraiser of the year. It's just going to be awesome. We have a kids zone where we have youth resources, mental health resources out there. We've got a balloon artist, and it's dog friendly as well. We've got a huge wellness fair where we've invited all of our wellness partners, mental health partners, community behavioral health partners, nonprofits, for-profits out there. So if anybody needs resources, you can come out to the walk and get resources. But it's just going to be an absolutely beautiful day.
Vance?
Yeah, well,
I was out this weekend?
Yeah, I was out there yesterday, kind of scoping things out at the Y, And it's kind of crazy because we just came through a pretty bad period in Jacksonville, right? Well, actually in our part of the country with all these storms. And here we are, the fall is here. We got the sunshine above us.
Beautiful.
Really uplifting day, not only for people living with mental illness, but for everyone, including the kids. And we're going to have the air. We're not, but the city is having the air show, right?
It is for you. It is for you. We'll take
Yeah,
that.
we
Yeah.
asked them to please schedule the air show around our walk.
Exactly.
And they're going to, the planes are going to be going on just a couple miles upriver. And so it's fantastic. We're just so looking forward to having everybody out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just want to add that it's open to anybody. You can show up on Walk Day. You can also register online if you want. It's NAMIWalks.org/Jacksonville. But you can also just show up and register on site on Walk Day.
Fantastic. Well, Susan, Vance, thank you both so much for joining us here on River City Plus, and y'all have a wonderful walk this weekend, all taking steps towards being a better community and a healthier community together.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Jen.
Thank you both. All right, everybody, we'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning at 9:30 for River City Live and 10:15 for more River City Plus. Take care.